So I guess Nintendo didn't forget Zelda's 40th anniversary. So Zelda's 40th anniversary came and went without Nintendo ever acknowledging it. So of course we're getting an Ocarina of Time remake, but they haven't actually said that this is part of an anniversary or anything. So it kind of just seemed like they weren't going to have like an actual 40th anniversary celebration. I mean, there was a ton of speculation, there's been multiple directs, there's the Ocarina of Time announcement, and you would have figured that's when they would have something about the 40th anniversary. But there was nothing, so I think most people kind of moved on. But now there's leaks, and I have to say that they're not 100% true, so do take this with a grain of salt. But we see a Nintendo Switch 2 Ocarina of Time Special Edition, and then we see a Switch 2 Pro controller with a similar design, and it specifically says 40 on it. So if these are real, then these are obviously part of the Zelda 40th anniversary celebration, but I think there would probably be more. Before I get to that though, I think this is the first time we're getting a Special Edition Switch 2, and by that I mean like the actual dock looking different. We're getting these really cool Joy-Cons, assuming that this is real. So I think that's awesome. I think it's always cool to have special editions of Nintendo consoles. I mean, like look at the 3DS, like how many special versions there were. The Nintendo Switch itself really didn't have many. Like, yeah, there were some different Joy-Cons, but for the actual console, there weren't many, like the actual system. Like, yeah, there was a couple docks that were different, but they didn't really lean too heavily into that. So anyway, this is awesome. I assume that this Switch 2 will probably come with Ocarina of Time, but who knows, maybe it doesn't. But I think there's going to be more things. So one thing I think is probably going to happen is some sort of amiibo. So for the 30th and 35th anniversary got amiibo, I actually have a lot of them. And they're really cool, like just cool celebrations of different Zelda games. And Nintendo's been leaning more heavily into amiibo recently, like since the Switch 2 launched. The prices have gone up, and I think a lot of people aren't buying the amiibo at the prices they want. But there's no denying that overall the quality of amiibo has gotten a lot better. Like the DK Bonanza amiibo, like I actually have that one, fantastic quality. The Mario Galaxy ones, the Mario Wonder ones. There's some for Kirby Air Riders, for Metroid Prime 4. So they've been doing a lot with amiibo recently. So I'd love to see some for Ocarina of Time, whether it's with Link's new design, whether it's more designs from previous Zelda games. I think there's a pretty good chance that something like this happens. I'd also love if there was a collector's edition. So I very rarely buy collector's editions, like even for Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, I think that had a collector's edition. I didn't get those. Kind of wish I did if I'm being honest, but I was 14 when Breath of the Wild launched, and I was like 20 when Tears of the Kingdom came out. So I didn't have as much extra money to get that. But now if they did that, if they made like an Ocarina of Time special edition or collector's edition with like an art book, with maybe like a steel book or something like that, I think that would be really cool. Maybe even not even just Ocarina of Time, but having like that 40th anniversary celebration, like something like that, maybe like a soundtrack. Like we've seen for previous Zelda anniversaries where they released art books or like I have Hyrule Historia, the Zelda Encyclopedia, and Arts and Artifacts. And they're really great quality books, like awesome things for collectors. So I'd love to see something like that come back. And maybe they even touch up the Zelda timeline, because they haven't actually, I don't think they've officially updated it since Skyward Sword, which was 15 years ago. So since then, we've gotten quite a few games. And for something like Echoes of Wisdom, Triforce Heroes, Link Between Worlds, I think we all know where those are. But even though I know a lot of people don't like the Zelda timeline, I'm really curious, like what Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, like how they actually fit onto it. And there might be answers to that. I've seen people say that's like the timeline's coming together at the end. I don't know, that's just something I find interesting, but nothing that is actually that important. Another big thing I think could come out of left field if they did this is, in addition to the Ocarina of Time remake, make some sort of like collection, like whether it's Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD, like on a cartridge, whether it's like the 2D Zelda games, like as some sort of master collection. If they bundled that with it, I don't think they would ever do that, but I think that'd really help to celebrate the 40th anniversary of Zelda. There's a lot they could do, but obviously getting an Ocarina of Time remake is bigger than any product they could make, like in terms of like art books or amiibo or anything like that. So if that's how they want to mostly celebrate Zelda's 40th anniversary, I'm very happy with that. But in addition to that, it's good to see that we're most likely getting other stuff. Like we're getting these Joy-Cons, we're getting the special Switch 2, we're getting this controller. So I would have to assume there's more. If they already have a logo, if they're doing this, like there's got to be more than that. So my guess is there'll be a direct probably in September, if I had to guess, because I assume this is going to come out in November. So it's only giving yourself 2 months to really market this game. And it's Ocarina of Time, so how much marketing does it really need? But obviously they do have to show off the game. So I assume a direct would show off other things for the 40th anniversary. Maybe it's some more Zelda games coming to NSO. Maybe it is the collection I was talking about. Maybe there's going to be a teaser of the Zelda movie. And again, assuming that this is real, because we don't know 100% if it's real, I am happy to see that Zelda is actually truly getting a 40th anniversary celebration, like actually saying that we are celebrating Zelda's 40th anniversary. Because I think I said months ago that they might wait until the Ocarina of Time remake to really show off stuff for the celebration. And I thought it was weird how they just kind of completely ignored it. like the day of Zelda's 40th anniversary. Like that is Nintendo's probably their third biggest IP, if I had to guess. Like obviously you have Mario, Pokemon. So I'd say Zelda's probably after those two. So you would think there would be like a tweet or something to say like happy 40th anniversary of one of our biggest video game series. And they didn't even do that. They made no sort of announcement or acknowledgement. And I thought that was really weird why they would do that, or not do that, I should say. So that kind of got me thinking that they're going to be saving this celebration for a later point. And it looks to be the case now. I kind of wish that Nintendo would celebrate more anniversaries. Like, yeah, we get Mario anniversaries, we get Pokemon anniversaries, and we've gotten Zelda in the past. But I really love if they leaned more into Metroid, into Pikmin, into Kirby, and even into Fire Emblem, like a series that I'm not the biggest fan of. Just because for certain anniversaries, like I think it's just kind of a nice celebration for fans. Maybe give them some merch or something, like you're literally making money from that. And for something like Mario, like, yeah, they're going to want to do 25th, 30th, 35th, 40th. But even for other franchises like that aren't as big, like, I think every 10 years is a good place to do some sort of celebration, no matter how small. Especially once you get to like 30, 40 years, like Metroid's 40th anniversary being this year. I don't know if we've gotten any sort of acknowledgement of it. Like we got Prime 4 last year. We got an art book last year. I don't know if there's been anything else. But again, Metroid is not in the same stratosphere as Zelda in terms of popularity. It's also just crazy to see how long some of these games have been along for. Because in my mind, like some of these are still 25 years old. Like I remember when I was a kid and Nintendo was celebrating Mario's 25th anniversary with the collection on Wii that I got. And 25 years, like it just seems crazy, like how small that seems compared to 40. And how quote unquote like new it was at the time. So a series still being supported and still being as popular as ever, probably more popular than ever, all these years later is incredibly impressive. And I think Nintendo really should take pride in that. Because for all of Nintendo's faults, I think they've done a good job respecting most of their long-running franchises. And yeah, you could point to certain games and be like, well, this game wasn't good, or they haven't done this or that. But I think for the most part, they're long-running franchises that they've consistently supported. Like, they have shown a lot of respect to. So good on Nintendo for that, and it's probably gonna be another 4 years until we have, like, the next big celebration with Mario's 45th anniversary. But for now, I'm looking forward to what Nintendo does for this. I'm really excited for the Ocarina of Time Direct whenever that happens. It's my favorite Zelda game, and this is a game that people have been talking about for years. Like, even before there was the rumors, people have wanted, like, a full HD remake of Ocarina of Time since, like, the Switch first came out. Probably since the Wii U came out, if I'm being honest. But anyway, for now, this looks very legit, but again, could be false. But we know we're getting Ocarina of Time, and now it looks like we're getting a controller and Switch 2 also. So if that's it, I still think that's a pretty good celebration of Zelda's 40th anniversary. But I think it's a very good chance we get more. So let me know, what do you want to see for Zelda's 40th anniversary? And to stay up to date on Nintendo's announcements, be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.